Now, the Gauteng High Court in Pretoria will today hear the Society for the Protection of Our Constitution's main bid for relief for suspected Zama-Zamas still underground at the Stilfontein Mine in the North West province. The court granted interim measures on Saturday, which ordered the unblocking of the mine shaft, allowing workers to exit and that no non-emergency personnel may enter the mine shaft. The matter, which was initially set for Tuesday but had to stand down until today to allow the applicants time to respond to opposing papers that were filed by the South African Police Service and the Department of Mineral Resources. Let's take you to that court now. Canny Maphanga is there for SABC News. Canny, good morning. So again, quite a few developments in this particular matter, but of course, what can we expect today?
Well, good morning to you, Sakina, and to the viewers at home. As those developments continue to unfold at the Stilfontein Mine shaft in the Northwest, the battle will continue in the Gauteng High Court in Pretoria, where the applicant as well as the respondents still hold opposing views about the alleged rights that are being allegedly infringed upon in this complex issue. What you can expect is that when we left off on Tuesday, the matter was expected to be heard, that is the main application, because remember, the applicants only have interim measures right now to deal with the rights that they said were being infringed on, that was zoomed in on Chapter 2, the Bill of Rights. They successfully got those interim measures on Saturday. However, the matter does have to be fully adjudicated in the Gauteng High Court, which brings us back to this court to get a final determination on the matter. Now, we know as we stand today that the applicant as well as the respondents hold opposing views on this issue, with the applicant still charging or alleging that this is a life or death situation, whereas the respondents, that is the government entities, are charging that these miners are not trapped and they have an ability to escape or come to the surface of that mine, as well as they are charging that there aren't any fundamental rights or human rights that are being infringed upon at the Stilfontein Mine shaft. What you can expect later today when proceedings start at 10 a.m. is that there'll be that final bid for that interdict in the urgent courts, and of course DMR and SAPs are going to be vehemently opposing this application and will attempt to demonstrate to the court that there are no rights being infringed upon. And of course, the claim that the miners are still trapped underground is not true. Of course, there are quite a few number of requirements that the applicant, that is the Society for the Protection of Our Constitution, will have to satisfy before they can get that final relief before the court. They have to establish a clear legal rights. Of course, the rights that are being focused on is Chapter 2, the Bill of Rights. And then, of course, they have to show that those rights are going to suffer irreparable harm if the interdict is not granted. They'll also have to show that the balance of convenience favors them. And then, of course, they'll have to show the court that there is no alternative remedy before them other than to approach this court and seek that order. Of course, Sakina, we've seen there are rescue operations ongoing at that mine, and the situation has changed drastically from the initial perceived government stance that we saw last week through the statements attributed to the Minister and the Presidency, versus what we see unfolding at the Stilfontein Mine shaft today. So it's quite tricky as to whether the applicants will be able to advance arguments to secure that final interdict, because the circumstances upon which they got the interim measures on Saturday have changed drastically as we stand before the court today. Those proceedings will begin at 10 a.m. and of course SABC News will be giving you that live coverage as the battle continues for relief for those suspected Zama-Zamas in the Stilfontein Mine shaft before the Gauteng High Court in Pretoria. Over to you in studio.
Canny Maphanga, thank you so much, and Canny on that story for us throughout the day.